Now that we know what content types are and how they work, let's go ahead and begin adding some data to our site, and we'll start that process by creating a structure for our data using a content type. If we look at our mockups, let's go ahead and jump to our mockup directory and open up the calendar.ping file. We see that we have a display of information about upcoming tours. And if we line this up with the data that we got sent in our resource pack, I'm going to jump back to the resource pack, and you see here under data, we have an events.txt file. Let's go ahead and open this up. So we're given some information about each event. We have the name of the event, the location of it, the type of event that it is, the dates, and who the tour guide is. And if you wonder what this data is at some point, you can look at the legend up at the top that the authors gave us. So this data has to match up with that output somehow, but we have to begin by simply capturing the data inside of Drupal, and we'll do that with the content type. Let's go ahead and jump back to the browser, and let's start this process by creating a content type shell, and we'll do so by going to Structure, and then back to Content Types, where we just were to edit the content type for web form. And instead of editing an existing type, what we're going to do is click this Add Content Type at the very top. Let's go ahead and click this. And let's talk about this form. So this is the content type add form. We're going to go ahead and give this a name of tour. And notice that it creates a machine name for us, tour here. And we have the opportunity to edit this if we want to, but it's fine as is. The description displays when you add a new piece of content, so it will display underneath the link that says tour. Let's go ahead and add a quick description here. Okay, let's scroll down and take a look at these other options. So you'll recognize these from the previous video where we edited the web form content type, but let's go ahead and go through it as an add content type form. We have our title field label, and this is the title of the content. For this, we want an event name as the title. So let's go ahead and put event name. Preview before submitting. We don't really care if people preview the content before posting it, so optional is a good default for this. And let's go ahead and leave the explanation or submission guidelines empty. This simply gives us some information above the form to help people work through it. This is a good thing to come back to after people are actually using the form, and we know what some of the bottlenecks or trouble spots are. Let's go ahead and take a look at publishing options. The defaults here are good. We're going to default it to published, default it to promoted to front page. Again, this doesn't really impact us since we're not using the default home page. And we'll leave sticky at top of lists and create new revisions unchecked. Okay, let's check display settings here. Now, since this is a general piece of information and the date it was published and who created it isn't really important, let's go ahead and uncheck this in order to hide the published by information that would normally display below the title. Let's go ahead and take a look at menu settings here. Now, as far as we can tell from the mockups, we don't want users to be able to add tours to the navigation at all. So let's go ahead and uncheck this main menu item and disable the adding of a menu item at all to the default menus. Okay, let's go ahead and click Save Content Type to save this structure.